In the top right corner from Team Liquid, it is Songhyun Deok, known as HerO. In the, I guess, whatever form StarCraft 2 you're watching. HerO is the blue Protoss who everyone has been saying that his style is kind of hard to face against Zerg nowadays, but when pulled off, it looks beautiful, but when it doesn't work, looks kind of feeble, because if the War Prison play gets shut down, if he's not able to harass, and all of a sudden Protoss army is a lot smaller, Zerg can just kind of overrun. And that's where HerO's kind of been struggling. He says PvZ is a matchup he doesn't know if he can figure it out yet. In fact, he tweeted earlier today, "Oh my god, my WCS group," or actually said that the other way around, "WCS group, oh my god." He's definitely not looking forward to it, but at the same time, I can't think of another Protoss player that I would pick to do well in that matchup. Now, we have him up against a Red Terran here, GanZi from Team Complexity, a guy that, well, let's just say he's been on the down curve, because he was peaking high. A lot of people picked him to be one of the Slayer's Terrans to really do well, Ben. But that injury really has affected him. Who do you think is going to come out on top of the series?
HerO. And I would love to see GanZi come out and just show us an incredible set of games here, but at 1-6, his season is over. And his time in the NASL could be over for good. So I don't know how driven he's going to be to bring his absolute best play. HerO, on the other hand, has still not been confirmed for a wild card spot. He doesn't know with certainty that he'll be in the playoffs at all. So he's going to be bringing his absolute best, and he's going to be trying to pick up the win here, because if he finishes 6-2 this season, could be seeded directly into the round of 16, and that's what everybody wants. So we are going to see the best HerO against hopefully the best GanZi, but even then, the best of GanZi against the best of HerO, I think everyone would agree that HerO is still the more successful player, the more accomplished player, and maybe even the more talented player.
Oh, HerO's definitely talented, especially with his multitasking. HerO going to scout after his Cybernetics core. A little bit of a delayed scout, but that's okay. I mean, to be honest, you don't really expect to be able to get too much information into the main of Terran. You just want to see their general expansion timings. GanZi, of course, we know he's went for a really quick command center and following it with 2 barracks. That's kind of the style that GanZi likes to do, either super high aggressive early builds or play the exact opposite, play very greedy, and then try to get away with it in the mid game.
Whirlwind's a good map for greed. It's a huge map, and HerO really drew the short straw with his scouting here. He's scouting in the wrong direction, as is GanZi, by the way. But by the time HerO gets over to GanZi's base, he will not, or should not, be able to actually confirm that there's even a command center there. That is, unless GanZi just decides to attack this supply depot rather than positioning his Marines at the ramp where he can block scouting. Yeah,
and that's a little bit of a shame, because when you see command center first, you normally would like to pressure with the early Zealot Stalker combination. Maybe force a Marine or 2 kill, or maybe even pull a couple of SCVs off and be able to pick them. I think HerO is going to fall behind early because of it, but at the same time, HerO likes doing pretty, aggressive, harass, cheeky plays, and I think he shouldn't be too thrown off a bit. It's a small lead, but still substantial for GanZi.
Yeah. Aside from that, it's just pretty much sit back and macro for both these guys, at least for the time being. A couple of gates going down for HerO. He's hiding them pretty well up in the back of his main base. He's already mining on that fast Nexus, so both of these guys with the pieces necessary to build a good macro game.
Whew. Well, that probe got dealt with immediately. No proxy pylon from HerO at all, so we can't even follow it with some light pressure. HerO doing the safe route and getting a couple more gateways. Now, on this map, Ben, is there any kind of styles of Protoss or Terran that you like watching from, like on a map like Whirlwind, or even close positions like this?
Well, I do like when we have big maps that are kind of open with lots of attack paths, because I do think it opens up possibilities for fast, aggressive players to multitask well, and I think HerO has some opportunity for that here. HerO's kind of known for his War Prison play, though, and there's not that much airspace behind the bases to allow that kind of thing to fly. We'll see exactly what he tries to do. Another thing that I like in these positions is just aggression. These guys are going to share. They're going to kind of share a 4th base, I suppose, as it sort of sits between them, and we very well may see one player expanding towards another one. Great scout here by HerO sees a lot of Marines out for GanZi. It is a ton.
Yeah, but he also sees no bunker. That makes him very suspicious. He doesn't know if his opponent's going to go for some kind of 2-racks SCV pull. So HerO's being very cautious. Wow, he's pushing out 3 Stalkers at a time. So HerO definitely trying to take the safer route, and that's the smart thing to do. You know, it's week 9. No mistakes really can be made anymore. And even if HerO wins the series, he wants to win 2-0. That way he can enforce his playoff spot as the number 2 seed if he's able to secure it.
That's exactly right. GanZi looks like he's still trying to bring his absolute A game, though. He's looking to be pretty safe up at the top of this ramp. HerO will be pressing forward here shortly. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 gates. Only 4 gates, so it's going to be some 4-gate pressure. He's falling back on double forge and a robo, though.
Yep. Guardian Shield before the Zealots can even get protected, but should be able to deal with most of these Marines. SCVs are being pulled. HerO shouldn't be able to bust his front, but he can kill off some units and back off. The Observer flew straight into the missile turret, so HerO does lose a valuable scouting tool, but he's also going for double forge and a robotics bay. Now this is an awesome move because he scouted so many Marines. He didn't see any kind of early incorporation of Mirage. He knows GanZi must have played greedy somehow. There's no reason why to get so many Marines early on. And I think from there he's like, well, Colossus is going to be very powerful from here.
Yep, that robotics bay is down. GanZi's already got his starboard out, but he's going to want to get medevacs before he makes any Vikings. Question from here kind of becomes, is HerO going to try to take a 3rd base, or is he going to do something off of 2 bases? He does have double forge. Usually when you see double forge, that tends to mean that a player wants to sit back and be a bit more passive, but HerO's also adding gateways right now. Yeah,
if you have a 1-1 timing, it's very powerful considering the Colossus, if you have the right amount of upgrades, can pretty much one-shot Marines. Because the Stalkers in combination can basically snipe it instantly. It makes them super weak because they have to stim, then they have 35 health, and then a 19 damage Colossus can just sweep them. So it's a very nice timing that you can hit with 2-3 Colossus, depending on whether or not you feel comfortable not poking before the 3rd Colossus comes. All you have to do is just be very careful against when Terran can poke, because Terran, when they first get their medevacs out, can drop. Whirlwind does have a lot of space, but HerO being actually, he's buying double insurance. He has a probe spotting as well as an observer.
Yeah, and should be well aware of exactly what he's dealing with. The question that we sort of have to ask ourselves is, does he have enough defensive capabilities to stay safe against this? He can force field that ramp, but medevacs are going to give a lot of extra mobility to GanZi. GanZi's going to pull all the SCVs as well. 16 workers coming with this.
Yeah, the Colossus does come out. The 2nd Colossus actually is finished too. That's huge for HerO. Ooh, a big scan, but I don't think HerO has any awareness this is coming at all. In fact, his observer scouts a 3rd base, so he might feel more safe than he actually is, but now the huge influx of units, he needs to force field and protect his Colossus at all costs. But the SCVs are rushing forward to take some damage. Where all the Stalkers are now rushing in to aid the scene, and HerO is able to protect his Colossus just in time. Look at how much damage they do without Vikings aiding them.
Well, incredibly, HerO gets those critical force fields down, micros his units just right, and actually comes out very, very nicely in that exchange. Killed a lot of SCVs. There were 16 workers pulled there, and HerO just sliced them up very easily. He's now at a pretty healthy worker lead. GanZi, though, in spite of that worker sacrifice, is going to have triple orbital here in just a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the most vulnerable time Protoss is, too, so GanZi pulling a couple SCVs just for the insurance. But now HerO has to kind of make a decision because GanZi is going for that 3rd base. Does HerO try to counter push and punish that 3rd base, maybe push into a natural, or does he try to play it safe, get up the upgrades, get for a 3rd base, and try to drag this out? Because I feel like GanZi's doing a pretty good job pressuring.
A couple of Zealots might shut down that 3rd expansion attempt. That command center is getting very, very low on hit points, and it's possible that it might fall.
Oh my.
Marines and Marauders going to try to save the day, but the command center is just barely saved. Huge, huge moment there in the game. If that had died, then I think GanZi's hopes of falling back on his economy would have been completely dashed. In spite of that, HerO still has a really scary 1-1 army with 3 Colossi, and he's going to come forward right now.
Yeah, 3 Colossus. It's such a powerful number. Oh no, GanZi throwing away 10 supply of units just like that. And wow, HerO's going to have 2-2 compared to just the 1-1 of his opponent. And he even has blank. This is This is a devastating push. I think GanZi doesn't have enough Vikings. He only has 5 against 3 Colossus. You want to at least have 3
Marines, so many Marines. A couple of Stalkers getting a little carried away there, but luckily they have Blink. They are able to escape. HerO looks like he just wants to push up and kill this command center. It's going to be very easy. GanZi right now is just like, all right, whatever. I'm going to go around your army.
Yeah, I mean, GanZi knows his confrontation power is very small, considering he doesn't have a very large Viking count for the Colossus. HerO's pulling back because he realizes his third is in jeopardy as well, maybe even just his main
Not
base.
just his third, I think his everything is kind of in peril right now. GanZi has more damage output in his army than I think anybody can really appreciate. This is so many Marines. This is 50 Marines.
Massive stim. He stims all of them. That's already as if everything got hit once.
One
so
Nexus is going to go down. Oh, but a great force field's on the ramp, and that is going to buy HerO critical seconds for his army to get into position. And GanZi, where are you going to go from here?
The Stalker's playing forward and deals with the Vikings very quickly. All 3 Colossus survives, and that's what we're talking about. The Viking count is so low. GanZi has no answer. GG. HerO able to take game number 1. Very, very well done. Especially considering how much pressure he was under. It's very easy for any Protoss player to crumble under that.
Yeah, very, very nicely done there by HerO. If he misses that force field, if GanZi gets up into his main base, now GanZi's got a concave on top of that big ramp. He's probably able to kill HerO's main command center, or main nexus, I should say. And then HerO's in this really terrible position where he's broke. He has no mining bases. He's taken a third, but it's not ready yet. And he's just lost all of his infrastructure. That's a position that GanZi can control and maybe win from. But landing that one pivotal force field on the ramp cuts that army in half, gets HerO's Colossi in position, and allows him to hold down the game. That was really, really nicely done.
I agree, Ben. That game number 1 was brought to you by LABite.com. Type in promo code NASL at the checkout menu to let them know that you support us for all kind of food and restaurant delivery in the LA and Orange County area. In fact, we have a commercial prepared for you from the casters. Enjoy.